What is up, Jaguar students? It's your friendly neighborhood math teacher, Mr. Allred, and we're here today to talk about how to take math notes in Mr. Allred's class with Edpuzzle. So you have a little half sheet of paper. It should look just like the paper on your screen, and this is kind of what all our notes this year will look like. Okay, I try to do a really good job of taking that piece of notes, putting it on the smart board, and I'm just going to talk through it. We have fill in the blank Cornell notes, okay? Fill in the blank guided Cornell notes. That's how we take notes in math class, okay? We're just going to talk about some of the different items of these notes and how it works, okay? On the left-hand side of the notes, that is where the main idea of that section goes. It goes on the left-hand side, okay? You're just going to write main idea in those blanks. It is usually in the form of a question, okay? You can always feel free to add anything here that you might think is important to that section. So on the left-hand side, on this side of the notes, that's where I'll put the main idea for that particular row of the notes, okay? If you have anything important to add in the left, you can always feel free to do so, okay? On the right-hand side, that's where we put the key details of that section. They go on the right-hand side. That is where you would follow along with Mr. R to solve math problems and define key terms. You can always feel free to add anything here that you might think is important to that section. So on the right-hand side, this side of the notes, that's where we'll put the key details, and we might solve some math problems too along the way. So if you have something that's important, maybe you star it and say, hey, this thing is important. Maybe you rewrite it there in that section if you think there's an extra key detail that you might need to write down, okay? You might be wondering why these notes are fill in the blank. Well, Mr. R's done a lot of research. That research shows that fill in the blank guided notes, they're going to help kids your age. They're going to help you pay attention to the topic a little easier. It's going to save your hand from writing too much while it still keeps you focused, okay? So the intention there is, yeah, we're still trying to read all the things that Mr. Allred typed, but in order to keep you a little focused without your hand hurting too much, we have fill in the blank guided notes. I usually leave the most important words blank. So that's why those blanks are there. It'll help you figure out what the most important words are, what the key terms are. Okay, so you need to write down every single thing that Mr. Allred writes down. You can see that this is pre-typed for you. I'm just clicking through because I don't have the best handwriting. So I like to make it really, really easy for you to read. You can write down everything that I put up on this screen, anything extra I put on the screen. Okay, as you're going through Edpuzzle, it'll ask you questions along the way as well. It'll help you see if you're understanding the things that we're writing down. Okay. Just like I just said, Edpuzzle is a really cool tool. It'll ask questions during the notes video, and the program will let you know if you got the question correct or incorrect. That'll totally help you see if you need extra help with the material the next day in small groups. Okay? Really cool program. It also prevents you from skipping ahead. It does that so that you can't just go to the end of the notes video and copy things down. So that's important as well. It prevents you from skipping ahead in the notes. Edpuzzle does. Okay, so here's the first math problem of the year on guided notes. I want you to see if you can keep up. I've got an order of operations problem here, so I'm going to want to make definitely sure that I follow Pemdas like I was taught in 5th or 6th grade. Okay, I'm looking at the parentheses first. So in these parentheses here, I do have 18 minus 12 divided by 4. I know 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that parentheses is worth 18 minus 3. And these parentheses right here, I've got 9 minus 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. And these parentheses right here, I know 8 squared is 8 times 8. That's 64, and 3 times 4 is 12. So I still followed order of operations within those parentheses. I can't do the addition until I do the multiplication. Now I'm going to bring everything down into my next column. And when I do that, I'm going to note that 6 squared is worth 36. So now you can see I brought everything down. I did 18 minus 3 and got 15 right here. I did 64 plus 12 and got 76. I brought the 4 down into the equation right here, okay? And I brought 6 squared or 36 down into the equation right here. Now I've done the parentheses and the exponents. I can do division next. I know that 36 divided by 3 is 12. I know that 15 times 4 is 60. The 17 is going to stay. It hasn't changed yet. I know that 4 times 7 is 28. Okay, I've done the multiplication and the division now. Now all I've got is addition and subtraction. I want to make sure I work left to right. So I can't do anything until I add 12 and 60 together. 12 plus 60 is 72, which is shown up here for you. Okay. In the next step, I subtracted 72 and 17. That's where 55 came from. Okay. In the next step, I'm going to add 55 and 76 together. That's where 131 is going to come from. And then finally, 131 minus 28 is 103. Okay. When you write a summary, thank you for paying attention to that. I hope you could keep up with me as I was writing all those things down. Okay. We got a summary. You always want to write a summary of what you learned, not a summary of what you did. Okay. So try to write a summary right here of the notes. How do you take notes in Mr. Allred's class? And see if you can kind of split up the different things we talked about, the different things we learned. Thank you for watching this 6-minute short video about how to take notes in Mr. Allred's math class. I hope this helps you on Monday night when you watch your first official notes for Unit 1.